I will not speak to you till you put your head on straight. I have a hole in my stomach.
Wait, they made this into a musical? I'm going to try to think of the craziest, most bizarre movie you've ever seen. I'll wait. I bet I know one that's worse. Death Becomes Her is considered a true cult classic, and we're about to find out why. Let's get into it. It's 1978, a pretty great time to be alive, but an even better time to be on Broadway, unless you're Madeline Ashton. I mean, she is pouring her heart and soul out on that stage, and they're giving her nothing. Do you have any idea what I would give to see Meryl Streep live? Give me the potion. Hand it over. See, he gets it. That's Ernest, by the way. We'll get into that mess in a second. But for right now, all we need to know is that he's engaged to Goldie. Wait, what's her name in this? I don't think it matters. Anyway, it turns out Maddie and Goldie are friends, but not really, because Madeline has this nasty habit of stealing Goldie's boyfriends, and that is not what besties do. Even with this information, Goldie decides to introduce her to her very rich, very successful doctor boyfriend. Like, girl, come on. But it's okay, because Ernest is a real stand-up guy, you know? And while she's absolutely crashing out, he assures her that he only wants to be with her. Oh, just kidding, he married her friend instead. It's now 7 years later, and Goldie's life is not really the best, but at least she isn't holding any old grudges. But honestly, I can't really blame her, because if my man left me for some woman who clearly isn't even that good of an actress, I'd be pretty upset too. So after 7 more years, we get to see how our favorite controversial couple is doing. Turns out, not great.
Could you just not breathe?
Madeline is obsessed with trying to keep herself young and is growing more and more depressed by the day. Which, I just want to point out, much like Margot Robbie in the Barbie movie, Meryl Streep is not the woman that you should be using for this. Like, she's 43 in this movie. What? If she gets any younger, she's gonna turn into a baby. Let's be real. But let's check in on Ernest. And now I'm sad. I mean, he's literally sad, but I also feel sad when I look at him. Kind of like when you see someone you don't like going through a hard time, and it's like, aw, someone should help them. I mean, I'm not going to, but you know. Somebody probably should. One day, Madeline and Ernest receive an invitation to Helen's party. Helen! That's her name. This causes Madeline to completely panic and desperately start searching for treatments.
The plasma separation is a very traumatic process to the body.
Instead, they offer her a business card. Very overtly, I might add. For this lady named
Liesel van Roeman.
I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. It's this lady. While at the party, Madeline and Ernest discover that Helen's had a major glow up.
We're leaving.
Which has to be just the single greatest form of revenge ever invented. And now it's time for us to see the growth that Helen's experienced over the past few years. Clearly, she's thriving and ready to just bury that hatchet and move on. Oh, just kidding. Never mind. That was stupid. I don't know why I would even think that for a second. Looks like Helen's ready to steal her man back. But if you're worried about Madeline, don't be, because she's about to pay a little visit to her side piece, Danny Zuko.
I'm doing you a favor here.
But that doesn't really go as planned.
You go find someone your own age, Madeline.
Yeah, now you can feel bad for her. Especially because now she's endangering herself and everyone else. Oh my gosh, who gave this woman a license? She somehow manages to pull herself together enough to make it to the mansion of
Liesel van Roeman.
where this guy who straight up looks like a 1983 action figure answers the door. And she finally meets this mysterious enchantress who performs miracles, or I don't know, whatever she does.
How old would you guess I am? 38.
Girl, you told her to guess. She gives Madeline a potion that will restore her beauty and allow her to remain eternally ageless, under one condition.
You may continue your career for 10 years, but at the end of that time, before people become suspicious, you have to disappear from public view forever.
Which doesn't really make much sense to me. I mean, attractiveness is a social construct. So if you get to have your youth restored, but you have to hide it, what's the point? Anyways.
Now a warning.
Now a warning?
Now a warning?
That's what I'm saying. The final warning she gives Madeline is to take care of herself and take care of her body. And remember that line, because
that's a surprise tool that can help us later.
While all this is going on, Helen shows up and convinces Ernest that they should kill Madeline, which barely takes any convincing, by the way. Red flag. And they devise the perfect plan. That lasts about 20 minutes, and then Ernest just pushes her down the stairs instead. And now this man is distraught. I mean, he just killed his wife. So who can he turn to in his time of need?
Exactly which part of the plan were you unclear on?
Oh. It's Helen again. So he calls her up and tells her what's going on so they can try to figure out what to... what is that? I'm sorry, I don't know how we're supposed to focus on anything that's going on right now with the Walking Dead going on back there, but this is extremely disturbing. So of course, after looking at this monstrosity, Ernest is freaking out and decides to take Madeline to the hospital to get her checked out. But she doesn't have a pulse, and she can't feel anything. Oh, I really wish you guys could see the cartwheels that are going on in my stomach right now, because of this, she mistakenly gets sent to the morgue.
Ernest, I'm in the morgue. Why am I in the morgue?
Yeah, I'd be running if I saw that wallpaper too. Yikes. Later, while Ernest is spray painting Madeline's body, I don't really have time to get into that one right now. But Helen comes over, and apparently no one has filled her in on what's been going on all night. So imagine her surprise when she comes face to face with her frenemy, who is very much alive, and our girl Madeline is not playing around.
These are the moments that make life worth living.
Rest in peace, Helen. You will be missed. No way, dude. The Walking Dead again? So it doesn't take Madeline long to realize that Helen also drank the potion, so she can't die either, which is probably pretty unfortunate for Madeline, but great for us. I can't even process that right now because these effects are getting just a little bit ridiculous. I see why they won an award for that. After a long heart-to-heart, they finally put their differences aside. Yay! I guess.
I'm really sorry. I'm sorry, too.
Also, I don't know about you, but I cannot take her seriously with that duct tape right now. Be so for real. The girls ask Ernest to fix them up, and of course, he makes it all about himself once again. I just want to make it clear really fast that I am not an Ernest hater, okay? I do, however, think that he makes pretty questionable decisions, and he was definitely the initial catalyst for all of this taking place, but he's fine, I guess. Madeline and Helen have to stop Ernest from leaving, because if he goes, who's gonna spray paint their bodies and make their torsos whole again, you know? It's a sad story. So to stop him from leaving, they devise a plan. But that doesn't work, so they do this instead. And that works too!
I don't want to live forever.
Of course, Ernest wimps out of taking the potion. But he makes a very interesting point.
But you never grow old.
Yes, but everybody else will. I'll have to watch everyone around me die. This is not a dream, this is a nightmare.
I wonder if this is somehow related to an overlaying message of the film or something. Probably not. He escapes to a party full of hot people, which is my actual nightmare, but I digress. Also, Elvis is here, but don't tell anybody that. Just keep it between you and me, okay?
I'm having some fun, man.
Eventually, he finds himself dangling off the roof, and the only thing that can save him is the potion. But he gives it up and then ends up surviving anyways, so what was even the point? Pretty lame, if you ask me. Finally, Madeline and Helen realize that their bodies are quickly falling apart, because, you know, they're corpses and all.
This is so embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of is, to be honest, but me personally, I would never deteriorate like that. That's all I'm saying.
She specifically told us to take care of our bodies.
See? I told you that would be important. 37 years later, we're at Ernest's funeral. And look! Hey, queens!
That our beloved Ernest is one man who will indeed live forever.
Blah, 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 blah.
Come on, y'all. That was funny. I mean, if anyone reached true immortality, it's them. Look how good they look. Anyways, eventually they fall down the stairs, and this happens. Which is kind of a lot visually, but we're pretty much desensitized to that at this point, so it's fine. And that's where it ends, with their decapitated heads looking for the car. I actually enjoyed this movie a lot more than I thought I would. It has a lot of comedic elements that I feel like hold up pretty well today. It also teaches a pretty important lesson about society and the lengths that people are willing to go to, which I feel like is also a big thing nowadays with the Botox. Am I 80? You know, what those kids are doing with the Botox and the Tik Tok and whatever. So yeah, if you guys haven't seen this, I highly recommend that you watch it. I mean, it's Meryl Streep. Do I need to say any more? Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, awesome. I'm so happy for you. Please just make sure to give it a like. comment. Y'all know the drill at this point. It's YouTube. I think I'm gonna go steal one of my friend's boyfriends. We'll see what happens. Bye. If I can get the right remote. Red maybe for the end? You can't even tell. Boy. And then purple in this one. Yeah? Yeah? Okay. Anyway.